Hey SnowRunner fan, in this video we're going to look at the International Loadstar 1700 Max. If you find this video helpful or entertaining, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So as I said, we're going to be looking at the 1700 Max. Now, to get to that truck, we're going to have to go to the mod browser, and the one in the center there, circled in red, is the mod that we're going to want to use. And once we do, we have access to several vehicles, including the three that you see here, and several TUZ models that have been upgraded. I'm going to play around with the one here with the largest tires, the monster truck, of course. So that's the one that we're going to be looking at, and this is, of course, a console mod. So as I said, we're looking at the International Loadstar 1700 Max. Now, the thing is, when you put such large tires on something, you're going to need a lot of torque to get them moving. So you're going to have to play around with the upgrades, with the different engines and the tires and the gearbox and things, because a lot of the combinations that you choose will actually prohibit the truck from moving at all, period. Take it out from the garage and it'll just sit there like a stone. So check out some of the upgrades that I've made to the truck, because I've obviously gone through and made some that will work for the video, and of course they'll then work for you. So go ahead and give it a shot. And the tires, the suspension, I believe, the gearbox, and the engine are really the three most important things to have set up correctly. So once you've got all of these set up, including the gigantic, and I mean gigantic, mud tires that we're going to put on this thing, (128 inches or something like that. They're huge. And anyway, in any event, what we're doing is we're turning this this scout truck into a monster truck. We're putting monster tires on it, monster suspension. We're getting an engine on there that'll torque it all up enough to get it all moving. And then aside from that, we're just going to make some cosmetic changes, put the flames on and a couple of other things. And once we're done with all of that, I'm going to move this monster out of the garage and take a look at it. It looks pretty awesome with those tires on it. Now you'll notice a slight video glitch where the tires and the brake cylinders, I guess, don't actually line up, so there's a space between where the brakes go and where the tires go. But if you let that pass, the rest of it's actually pretty fun. The gauges work. This is again just a 1700 that somebody has maxed out in certain aspects. So we're not really seeing anything new here except for the maxing out of it and turning it into a monster truck. No big cosmetic changes except for those gigantic wheels and the suspension that's needed to carry it off. There we go, get this big beast moving. And you'll notice that if you drive it on any kind of pavement, it's slippery as heck. Slipping and sliding. No good on the pavement. Of course, that's not really what it's made for, is it? But once you get it on the dirt, put it in all-wheel drive, it is truly a monster. Watch it go through the mud here. This is ridiculous. The tires barely sink into the mud at all. This thing is incredibly fun to drive. You have no idea until you've played around with it. One of the other options that comes with all of these trucks is getting all of the wheels to steer. I've only got the front wheels steering on this one, but there's an option where you can get the front and the rear wheels to steer. Then you can turn this thing on a dime, and it gets really insane to take it anywhere and do anything with it, because it's just crazy, crazy to drive. Got a kind of a weak horn though. Could use a little more on the horn. Alright, so instead of going over to the quarry like we usually do, I'm going to take this one over to the Stadium Super Truck area and see what it can do with some of the obstacles here. This is, you know, Bigfoot after all, right? It's supposed to be able to go just about over anything. Jump over school buses and crush cars, that kind of thing. You'll notice that it really has no trouble with just about anything we put it up against. There are a few things though, because the tires, and I'm guessing maybe it's because of the humongous size of them, they can get a little slippery on certain obstacles, so we'll see that from time to time. Almost like when they're on the pavement. But over most things it's like this, just goes right over. Logs, what logs? Rocks, what rocks? Tree stumps, what tree stumps? Here it just motoring along like nothing matters. And it just keeps going. And it can catch some air sometimes too. It's really ridiculous. It's almost like in slow motion like this. Watch this. Feel like looking at the sky for a second. Whoa, here we go. Boom, alright. Back to the third person view. So far so good, no damage at all to the truck. And we're probably a good third of the way through the different obstacles here, I'm guessing. Maybe halfway. This thing is insanely fun to drive though. You feel like you are driving Bigfoot, it's crazy. Now watch this, it'll span over two of the containers instead of going over one of them. It's insane. Yeah, up on one wheel, why not? Two wheels. Now this is what I'm talking about. You'd expect it to just motor over this, but not quite. It gets a little sort of hung up there. Not sure why. Maybe because I've got one wheel off the ground, but that shouldn't really affect it with all wheels driving. I guess I could have put it into a lower gear and activated the diff lock. That probably would have got it going. Of course the winch works just as well to get it moving ahead. Obstacles? What obstacles? Just go over them. If you don't want me to go through them, go over them, go around them, whatever. I have never seen any truck go through this mud this way. This mud is usually like quicksand to just about any truck I've taken through here. This is nuts. But I gotta say, when I was playing around with all those different mud parks, I wish I had this truck to play around with them in. That would be a lot of fun. I'm gonna go back to some of those, like the Sling Valley and stuff, and just tear it up with this giant wheeled truck, man. That'll be It'll be a real blast. Look at this, it just keeps going. Not bad. You definitely have to get your hands on this mod. It only came out in the last couple of days, and after reading the description I wasn't sure what to make of it, but this afternoon I decided to give it a try, and then lo and behold I get access to this monster truck, and I'm like, whoa, okay. Catch some air, have some fun. Okay, I am not going to make that one. That is not going to happen. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, that's not gonna. That would not be good. That would not be pretty. Because I gotta tell you one thing. This afternoon, while I was playing around with this truck, deciding what to put in and what to carve out of the video while I was editing, and I was filming some more of it, and I was thinking, just about every time I flipped it over, and I flipped this truck over 3, 4, maybe 5 times in all, I never could get it back on all 4 wheels, no matter what I did with the winch. I suppose I could have got another truck in there and tried to flip it over. That might have worked if I got one of the big heavies in there and pulled it over. But the winch on it is outstanding, and it still would not get this truck back on all wheels. No. Once it flipped over, that was it. Game over. Recovery only. Recover to garage. That's why I got a little worried with some of the bouncing around here and some of these rocks, because I mean, it can really toss you around. These big wheels end up, you know, getting 2 of them off the ground at one time, and gets a little antsy. You'll see here. Boom, right into the tree. Excuse me, sorry. No damage done. That's great. And onward. So now that we've gone through the various parts of the Stadium Super Truck obstacle course, we'll head over to the raging river in the Yukon at the flooded foothills map, just for the heck of it, and see how it does through the current here that usually ties up a lot of other bigger trucks. I think this is going to be pretty different than what I'm expecting it to be, though. I expect a little trouble. I expect... Oh no, you know what it's like? It's not even driving through a small puddle. Unbelievable. Well, that's just crazy. Right? That's just crazy. Okay. Good stuff. Well, again, what a fun truck. I enjoyed it a lot. I think you should get out there and play around with it yourself. So anyways, if you found this video helpful or entertaining, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. I'd really appreciate it a lot, actually. Thank you so much. And in the meantime, stay safe, take care, and until the next video, bye for now.